Okay, this is Chaz Says Anything, Tuesday night, October 15th, 2024. What a weekend. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. Okay, it's episode 58, best sports weekend ever? Question mark. I forgot to put that. Um, so if you like what you see, like what you hear, click the subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner. We got a lot of sports, football, baseball, maybe a little bit of basketball. Not it's there's a lot to go over, even college football. Um, but first, I want to do this and congratulate my wife, Beth Borsolana Kawas, with her 1992 and 1993 Woodbridge High School Girls State Championship bowling team. Were inducted into the Woodbridge Athletic. Let me get this right. Athletic Alumni Association Hall of Fame. A night to remember on Sunday night. This is why I didn't watch much football on Sunday. I did go over a lot of it, and I'll go over that in a little bit. But Beth and her teammates and about 17 other people, individuals, and not 8 or 9 other teams were put into the WTAA Hall of Fame. Now, you saw the picture. If you saw the picture, it was a little blurred, and I apologize. That's the team from back in 1992 and 1993. If you know Beth, you see Beth, that's you know where she is. She's right here. Now these 4 were there on Sunday night. So let me read real quick. The Woodbridge High School 1992-1993 girls bowling team was led by Woodbridge Township Athletic Alumni Association Hall of Fame coach Michael Yanazzo. Hope I got that right. And the roster included Jennifer Admonson, Adrian Asta, Melanie Evans, Wendy Fatok, Kelly Moore, Jeannie Mulhern, Beth Porcelana, Nicole Spratford, who's already a Hall of Famer in her own right, Sarah Taylor, and Beth Varner. Now, I met Beth last night, 2 nights ago. She's not Beth Varner anymore. She's married to Glenn Moore, who's also a Hall of Famer in with Woodbridge Township. The Barons, and I've known Glenn for a while, didn't realize it, so I don't think Glenn realized it either. Like we knew each other's face, so that was it was a fun night. They were at our table. It was a really fun night. The Barons went undefeated. This is an amazing accomplishment for any bowling team, let alone this one. These girls, I wish I knew about them back in 1992 because I was a sophomore, junior, going to be a junior in 1993. Like I should have been aware of this, and I was not in CBA. While capturing the Red Division Championship and Greater Middlesex Conference Championship, the program captured the 17th annual Joe Romer Memorial Tournament with a record-breaking performance of 2,566 and broke the previous year's record of 2,532. So they beat the record by 34 pins. That's freaking awesome. It was the second straight title for the program and the 4th in the last 6 years for the Barons. Beth Varner led the way as she took second place high series in the tournament with a 559, while Beth Porcelana took first place in high game with a 235. That's my girl. It goes on and on. Okay, so in the Greater Middlesex Conference Tournament, the Woodbridge girls defeated Edison 2-0, capturing its school's 3rd Greater Middlesex Conference Championship. In the first game, the Barons rolled over Edison 900 to 791, and were led by Beth Varner, who shot a 204. Beth Porcelana added a 188 game. Nicole Spratford, a 184 game. Second game, Wendy Fatok, 186. Sarah Taylor, 179. Like these girls were on fire back then. So I got a little video. I had 5, I'm down to 2. That's fine. Got a little video I'll share from that night. I think it's very good. Let's play it. It should play. I don't think I have volume. Let's see. My volume went. Sorry, guys. I don't know why.
This season, going 22-0, while capturing the division championship.
Let's go back.
This team was led by Olympic coach Michael Nazaro and the roster included Jennifer Addison, Adrian Asta, Melanie Evans, Wendy Top, Kelly Walker, Jeannie Mulherin, Beth Porcelana, Nicole Bradford, Sarah Taylor, and Beth Vaughn. The Bears went undefeated this season, going 22-0, while capturing the division championship and the Greater Mid-States Conference championship. The program captured the 17th annual Joe Roller Memorial Tournament with a record-breaking performance. After the victory in the GNC Conference tournament, the highest seeded team.
Houston.
The Bears captured the Central Jersey State Championship with a 125 victory, advancing to the NGS IAA Championships. Trailed by 90 pins, remaining in the state.
Sorry about that, guys. It was a little loud. Here it comes.
And 7 players also named. Congratulations. 1992, 93, bowling.
I still clap for that. Still clap for that. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So proud of my girl and the rest of the women there. So go quick overview. These girls did amazing. I got introduced to Beth Varner, who's now Beth Moore. Let me get this down. Let me get off of Facebook. It's gonna screw me up. Okay. So I got introduced to Beth Varner, who's now Beth Moore. Nicest of people, the Moores. Kelly Moore, her sister-in-law, she bowled with us. That's got to be a story. And the Spratfords. If you don't know who the Spratfords are, I met. Okay, I'm gonna screw up the names. I know it's Nicole and Vicky. I forgot the other one, and I do apologize. There's a lot of content I have here. So, but the Spratford girls in Middlesex County in the 80s into 90s were the women. Actually, Vicky was late 90s into 2001. These were the top ladies bowlers in Middlesex County, at least high school into adulthood, if you want to say. So special guest of honor was, if you know Middlesex County, from John F. Kennedy Memorial High School. His name is Coach Ray Newman. Coached a bunch of basketball and baseball teams. I'm not going to go over it. It's going to take too long. Like, if you know Coach Ray Newman, he's a very special. Seems like a very special guy. So people who in 17 individuals went in. If you know them, I hope hopefully if you ever get to know them, they're very interesting people. I did meet this guy actually too there when we were about to leave. Eugene Bradley, class of 75 from Colonia. Donna Circe Falcone from JFK, class of 84. Christopher Chira from Colonia, class of 95. From Woodbridge High School, class of 93, Mike Krushank, wrestler from 1993. William Bill Fairchild, class of 1971, and from JFK. Gerald Foglia, class of 1965. This is how far back they go. Class of 1965. Woodbridge, class 1965. Colonia, class of 1987. Michael Grippo. Also from Colonia, class in 1986, Robert E. Haynes Jr. From John F. Kennedy in class in 1966, Louis Lou Hagues. He was a runner. He ran a lot of track. He had a lot of track records. From Poland, from class of 2003, he actually came over before and went to John F. Kennedy High School. I should have practiced this. Arkadiusz Jodaka. He's Polish, so I should know that, but it's hard. He was class of 2003, one of the younger ones. Colonia's Tim Kasuda, class of 1998. Now this was a big one. I have a picture. If you see my Facebook pictures that I've posted from this on Sunday night, Nicole Legrand Harrigan. Why does that name sound familiar? Nicole Legrand Harrigan is the sister of Eric Legrand, who was the football player who famously hurt himself and is now in a wheelchair and has a coffee shop in Woodbridge. I got to meet him. He's a nice guy. He's probably one of the nicest guys, football-wise, that I've ever met. So, Sean McGrath, also class of 1998, Woodbridge. Patrick Margiotto, class of 1983, Woodbridge. A couple more individuals. Coach Anthony Palumbo. Met him. He's a very nice guy. He's probably one of the best bowling coaches in New Jersey, if not the country. If you read what he's done, you read this whole thing. Like this is easily top 3 bowling coaches in New Jersey history, if not the country. Anthony Palumbo, remember that name? He seemed, and he was Nate's computer computer teacher back when he was in high school, a couple years back. Mark C. Smith, class is 1970 from Woodbridge. And lastly, out of the individuals, and here's the one girl I mentioned, now woman obviously, Vicky Spratford, class of 2004. So she was the last of the 3 Spratford girls. And these Spratford girls, back in the day, they knew how to bowl. I'm sure they had a great teacher in their parents and whoever else was around them, especially at Majestic and Woodbridge Lanes. A couple teams. Colonia's 1979-80 boys basketball team. Woodbridge 1979-1980 girls basketball team. Colonia's 1980-1981 girls bowling team. There you go, right there. That's 40 years ago. You got 1988, 1989, and 1999, 1990 girls bowling team from John F. Kennedy. These 2 sets of teams right there, pretty good. They did really good stuff, apparently. Then, obviously, my lady with her girls. And then, lastly, the 1997 John F. Kennedy baseball team. They did something. So, a lot of people went in a 3-hour-long event on Sunday night. So that's why I missed most of football, which is fine. That was worth it. So again, congratulations to everybody, including especially my wife and the ladies that went in with her. All right, next we got Chaz's confidence pool week 6 winners. Khadijah Wakefield, first place with 210 points. There's something special about that 210 points. She went undefeated. She didn't lose a game. Hasn't happened in about a year, if not ever. I have to look back in records. I didn't have time today. But Buffalo winning in comeback fashion gave her that undefeated game, the undefeated week. Second place went to Larry Blumenthal with 208 points, who lost 1 point on that Denver game. A lot of people in this pool did very well. Top 15 probably lost 2 or 3 games. That's how, I don't want to say easy this was, but it seemed easier this week as people were getting 90% of the games they picked. I actually lost 4 games, but 2 games I expected to, either lose or there would be upsets. So, congratulations to them. I paid them on Monday because nobody had a shot. These 2 were the top people, plain and simple. So congratulations to you both, Khadijah and Larry. And that actually put them into first and second place for the season. For the first week in 5 weeks, we have a new season leader, Larry Blumenthal, with 1,012 points. Khadijah Wakefield with 1,004 points. Mike Wojcik, who's been in first place, is in third with 998 points. Mike Tice has come to the top 4 with 974. So now in the wings, who are trying to get up to those top 4, Andrew Fuentes and Patrick Dillahunt both tied with 968 points. Jeff Zawadzki, Mr. Terrorist, 952. Angelo Quinones, 950. My brother, Kevin K. Watson, 9th, 948. And a tie for 10th with Rigo Batista and his New York driving mate at Kerry, Ademir Espinal, both with 944 points. I got 4 more places here, so 12 through 15. We got Steve Remy, 934 points. Carlos Colon, 922. Paul Garner, 918 in 14th. And Mike Hearns, 914 in 15th place. Everybody else is below, including me, who's right below Mike Hearns. And then top right now for the side pot, Larry Blumenthal, with a commanding 66% lead with getting that one loss. You got 5 people with 62%. Carlos Colon, Jeff Zawadzki, Khadijah Wakefield, Mike Tice, and Paul Garner with 62%. So this is the fun we can have. Well, okay, I can't answer the phone, Rigo, right now. Rigo keeps calling me. Okay. Rigo, I'll call you back. Voicemail. Okay. Anyway, something must be on with Rigo. He's leaving me a message. He knows I'm doing this. Anyway, so let's go to my pick 6 that I had from last week. See how I did. Like I said, I lost 4 games, but it was 4 games here. Well, there's 3 of them. Oh, no, 2 of them. Sorry, 2 of them. So, my pick 6 for NFL Week 6, Cincinnati. I had the Giants winning by 3. They lost by 10. All I can say is with the Giants, they don't know how to finish. I don't think I'm ever going to pick them again, but we'll see. That was a Sunday night game. We saw the end of the game, and I saw nothing. Daniel Jones can't finish a game. Apparently can't start a game either. They couldn't do anything in Cincinnati, and Cincinnati's not a wall banger. I'm sorry, they're not. So, given that, it is what it is. Buffalo, I had Jets actually winning. I thought there would be something. There seemed to be something. The offense was there on Monday night. And for whatever reason, Buffalo comes back to win 23-20. There are things that happened today that we'll talk about that may have affected this, and I'll go into it in another spot. But that game was just for whatever reason the defense couldn't hold it, and that seems to be the issue. And they got to figure that out defensively, because offensively, Aaron Rodgers looked good. Yes, I know he missed a route, like the wide receiver, and that was a big thing. He missed a route, but offense was doing good enough to win that game against Buffalo. Okay, and then I did win Thursday night, thankfully. Okay, San Francisco beat Seattle 36-24. So that's 1 win, and then I did win the other 3. Atlanta. I don't know why I put this one. This was the easy one. Atlanta beat Carolina. I got close with the score too. So I said 35-20. It's 38-20. So not bad on that one. I had Detroit over Dallas by 4. I didn't have them destroying Dallas. Dallas fans didn't think that. On Jerry's birthday, they didn't think that was going to happen. But it did. And from the Stephen A. Smiths who were cackling over it, yesterday he went on, I think it was yesterday, he went on Get Up, at the end of Get Up, and in his cowboy hat and was laughing the entire time. What is up with Dallas? They have they on paper, they're a decent team. Justin, Paul, whatever, Debbie, Cowboy fans, you gotta tell me, is it your owner? Is it the team? I don't think it's McCarthy. This is not a McCarthy thing here. Okay, I just don't think it is. So, but Detroit, and this was in Dallas. Like the fact that this was in Jerry's World is, and they have it. I think they're 0-3 or 0-4 in Dallas already. Whatever, they haven't won in Dallas yet. That's bad. So, who knows how much I'll be picking Dallas now from now. Cleveland at Philly. Philly, I had winning. They kept that way too close. Like, they're giving Beth heart palpitations. Like, this is bad. Philly needs to figure out what kind of team they are. The NFC East is easy to win. Dallas is SHIT. Giants can't figure themselves out. The one team now they have to consider is Washington. That's the team they got to beat. So they got to get good enough to beat them. I don't know if they can because Jaden Daniels right now, I think, is better than any other quarterback in that damn conference right now. So I'm 20-16. I didn't put the point, but I should have. I'm 55.6 winning percentage. That's not too bad. I could be better. No, man, I'm gonna need more of that C4. Anyway, so what else happened the rest of the way? Let's go to the weekly results from last week. Yes, I haven't been on in a while. Excuse me. No, pool results. There we go. All right, week 6. So we talked about San Francisco beat Seattle pretty handily. Seattle had a game of it, but they weren't coming back. Jacksonville got hammered by Chicago. Like at home, Chicago looks like they're legit. We'll see how they go down the road. That they got a tough way with Minnesota, but Minnesota's got a tough game this week. Washington lost to Baltimore. Not a surprise. Like Washington they were in that game. A lot of people have Baltimore high and didn't give. As I had Baltimore at 5, didn't give Baltimore Washington the credit they deserved. I keep forgetting. I forgot to put this up. Laura said, "Way to go, Beth. Saw your video on TikTok." Laura, how's the Atlantic? Oh boy. Anyway, so Washington, like you said, they were in that game the entire game. Baltimore's a tough team. They're going to show up from time to time. Arizona lost to Green Bay. Arizona's just not good. Arizona, and this Monday night game is going to be bad. This is probably going to be one of the worst Monday night games. Another 2 comments. Jesus, it's sus. It's sus start today. That's what I'm hearing, of course. So I'm going to try to go through this fast too because I want to try to get the hour, maybe Yankee game on. I'm trying to keep it fresh and clean. New England losing to Houston in New England, no surprise. Like New England, like Jacksonville, like Denver, not really good. Let's see, another one. Tampa Bay beat New Orleans. This one's a little bit of a shock because Tampa Bay destroyed New Orleans 51-27. A lot of us had Tampa, but I did not. I really thought Tampa was just Tampa, but New Orleans could not keep up for whatever. What's his name? Baker Mayfield. Really, he might be legit. I don't know. I don't want to go to that route yet. Cleveland, I said before, barely almost beat Philly. Philly's got to figure it out. Tennessee at home losing a 3-point game to Indianapolis. I think that was a kicker game from what I saw. I'll get to the comments. I want to get through this. Chargers beat Denver by 7 in Denver. That's a in division game. Denver's not going to be looking good, plain and simple. Pittsburgh beating Vegas. A lot of us had that. Like we figured, Vegas is good, but they're not good enough. Pittsburgh's legit. And there's a story there later on too, for next week. We talked about Carolina, Atlanta. We talked about that. We talked about the rest. So let's get to my comments here. Watching for possible Nadine. I don't think Nadine's coming up here, Laura. Nadine's going to hit Florida or around there again. Crazy weather. Meow, yes. Okay, I'm not putting any of that up, guys. You'll see it on the chat. So my picks for week 7. Here we go. Week 7. I got the Giants losing 24-21. Philadelphia keeps this close game even closer. I suspect Beth will have the heart attack, and I will get my points that I put on the Philadelphia. Jets at Pittsburgh. I did this. I had the Jets losing this game. The reason I have the Jets now winning this game is because they're putting Russell Wilson back in the starting lineup. I'll talk about that more later. But that's 31-27. It's going to be close. Remember, it's in Pittsburgh. TJ Watt's he's going to eat up Aaron Rodgers. Like, that's going to happen. But I think it's going to be back and forth, 31-27. Do they have a better kicker than the Giants? I don't know. I think they have a better kicker, so they should win that game. Denver and New Orleans. I think New Orleans gets their win back. Like, Denver's going to be the team that takes over for everybody, or takes on everybody and helps them out with their team. This next game, I am praying to God that they knock out Minnesota, but I think it's going to. That's how good these two teams are. There's one loss between the two of them. Minnesota's still undefeated. Detroit and Minnesota's was off last week, and they were planning for this game. I still think in Minnesota, Detroit takes this in overtime, 38-35. Next, Baltimore, Tampa Bay. I think it's another overtime game. 51 points is blaring from last week with Tampa Bay. They're home, but Baltimore's strong. Baltimore, they got a great coaching staff. Expect this to go to overtime. Now, those two games should be the Sunday night games or Monday night games. No, the Monday night game is the last game. Chargers, Arizona. Wait, did I actually pick? Hold on a second. Now I got to go to. I might have did that wrong. I'm an idiot. I need to reverse this. Hold on a second. I need to reverse because this is how fast I was going because I wanted to get a nap before. Okay. That's the one. Here we go. Chargers winning 23-13. Let's rephrase. Okay, so that's what I got for that. That's my pick 6. 4 more comments. Laura, I'm over the Giants. Good. I'll be watching the Yankees soon after this. I think the Giants are over the. Okay, you know how to write their start today. I'm breaking up. I probably hit the table. That's why. Because you're commenting about I think the Giants are over the Giants, which makes no sense. Anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna pick against the Giants this week. I'm taking them week by week. It depends. They're gonna show. Remember, I pick against the Giants, they win. Okay, that has happened multiple times this year. They've got 2 wins. Both times I picked against them. So, not saying that this is going to happen, but stranger things have happened in the NFL. So, NFL news and notes. Okay. I should keep this up. I'll just put it back here. First things first for the Jets. Why I picked them to win. Raiders trade Davante Adams to the Jets for a conditional 3rd-round pick. This is what Aaron Rodgers needs. Truthfully and honestly, this is what Aaron Rodgers needs. He needs a wide receiver that actually knows his place. He needs a wide receiver to be basically his right-hand man. He needs a wide receiver to tell the other guys, this is what he is, this is what he does. Get on board. Stop playing NFL Madden 25. Start studying. This is what you got to do. I don't understand what else these wide receivers are doing. Like, you're supposed to... You can take the AFC East handily. Buffalo, you could have beat. You still can beat next time. Miami and New England, not even a contender. And every Miami fan will tell you that. Like, they're done with their team. If Tua's not there or they don't have a good quarterback, it's just not working out. And New England, theirs is a rebuild year. Like, so 7 days after the Jets fired their head coach and less than 24 hours after primetime loss to the Bills, the Jets have agreed to a trade for Adams from the Raiders, according to Ian Rappaport and also, I think, Adam Schefter. Las Vegas will receive a conditional 2025 third round pick in exchange for Adams, Rappaport, and Tom Pelleroso reported. The third rounder can become a second pick if Adams becomes a first or second all team pro this season. So he's got 10 games to become an all that's all, folks. All pro this season. That will be interesting. And if he's on the active roster, should the Jets make the AFC Championship and Super Bowl 59. Pelleroso added that the Jets have agreed to take the rest of Adams' salary in order to get the deal done. Adams' base salary is $16.989 million, and he is also a $510,000 in per game active roster bonus. The Jets will take on a prorated portion, which comes out to about $11.6 million. Subsequently, the Jets and Adams agreed to a contract restructure for 2024, lessening the salary cap hit. Don't you love business? Anyway, so that's that. We got 5 comments. Okay. I'm listening to the Yankees now. What do the Giants think? Start today. Come on. What do the Giants are going? You got okay. Proper English, brother. Proper English. What do the Giants are going to do? Again, these are questions for after the season. Come up with present questions. I'm not worried about what's happening at January 8th or 9th when the Giants are out, and that's when we're thinking about a quarterback. Not doing that now. Listen to the Yankees. Of course. Oh, you're listening to the Yankees start today? Okay, no surprise there. 3-0 start today. What does that mean, Laura? I'm hoping for Subway Series. Well, you know what? I'll get to that. I'm going to the baseball, so give me time on the baseball, guys. Okay, give me time. That's why I'm not putting it up. I'm not talking about baseball right now. Anyway, you want your own show, you get your own show. I have a order. Okay, next. This happened. Let me get to my news that I had, if I can get to it. So Bills trade. This was after the Raiders trade. Amari Cooper from the Browns in a blockbuster deal. Let's see if I can get to the latest news. Oh, there's more? So 2 things happened after I went to bed. Wow, and took a nap. So I'll get to that when that's done. Did we go? There we go. All right. Bills trade for Browns wide receiver Amari Cooper in blockbuster deal. Buffalo Bills acquired Amari Cooper in a trade. Teams later confirmed the deal, which includes the Bills shipping their 2025 third. Okay, let me stop this for a second. I don't need that going. The Bills shipping the 2025 third and 2026 7th round pick to Cleveland for Cooper, and a 2025 6th round selection from Detroit. Interesting. So a lot of picks going. 4 more comments, guys. Chaz is razzed. Yeah, of course I'm razzed. Yeah. Stop talking about baseball until I get to baseball. Let's stay in the present, guys. Let's just stay in the present. I think, Laura, you tell that to your kids sometimes, right? Stay in the present. The deal marks the second big trade of the day after New York Jets acquired Las Vegas. Yep, blah, blah, blah. Cooper was part of a trade rumor dating back to the offseason when the Browns were in discussion to get San Francisco's Brandon Ayuk. Okay, that's stuff I don't care about. Okay. So next, this was going on. I'm not going to go to an article because this was more online. Jets permit Hassan Reddick's agents to contact teams regarding trade interest. Very interesting because he got a new agent. Rosenberg. He was T.O.'s agent. If anybody knows who he is, that's who he is. And I thought he wanted to play with the Jets this year. That was everything sounding like that. Now it's not. So now the Jets can look to trade him and probably get some draft picks for someone who never played for him. So that is what it is. Next. So this is why I think the Jets are going to win. Steelers plan to give Russell Wilson first team reps in preparation to start versus Jets over Justin Fields. I've already had people in my leagues that I play in who have Justin Fields as their quarterback. Drop. He's done. Russell's playing. I think the Jets are going to feed. I really do. I really do. I think Russell will get some scores. But I think the Jets are going to really, really eat a lot. Their defense especially. Now, this intrigued me. NFL owners approved Tom Brady's bid to become limited partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, it's a minority bid. Okay? Now, this was a big it was a big part of the Michael Kay show. It was probably a big part of a lot of different shows today, if you're listening at all. Come on. Can I just pause this, please? All right. 7-time Super Bowl champion quarterback Tom Brady has been approved by the NFL ownership as a limited partner of the Las Vegas Raiders, according to the NFL Network. Brady and his partner hold now 10% in the Raiders, with Brady personally holding 5% of the stake. There's a lot of details into this, so I'm going to get through this real quick. According to Roger Goodell, it's great for Tom Brady that Tom Brady wants to invest in the NFL. He cares deeply about this game. He believes in its future, and I think it's a signal of that. Brady also released a statement on the approval, conveying his gratitude for the approval and his eagerness to aid the franchise. I'm incredibly humbled and excited to have been unanimously approved as an owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Throughout my NFL career, I've learned at its core, football is a game of teamwork, resilience, and relentless pursuit of excellence. The Raiders franchise and the city of Las Vegas embody these same values. Do they? And I'm honored to become part of that story. Here's my thing, and I've heard this and they've talked about this, and I think viewers who know football or are into football need to understand something. He's a broadcaster. He's broadcasting games. He's going into locker rooms. Fox has paid him $350 million. And now he can't do certain things because now he's an owner. He's restricted to do these things because he's an owner. I don't know how smart this is. Like, I get wanting to do it. You should have done it before you became a broadcaster. Like, if you wanted to broadcast for Vegas, like, wholly just Vegas, and then you become the part owner, and as part owner, you say, I want to be the guy who does all the Vegas games locally for the Vegas team. That's fine. That would have worked. That would have been legal. Now you can't go in the locker rooms because it's tampering. You can't know other teams whatever as an analyst and an owner of a football team. Come on, dude. Like I think he's gonna stop broadcasting at some point. Like, it just doesn't make sense that he's gonna be giving a lot of money back, because this just does not make sense. But maybe I'm wrong. You know, smarter men than me, smarter people. I can't say men. There are smart women out there too that talk about this. Smarter people than me probably know more. I just don't. It doesn't make logical sense for a player who has the money to be an owner, like Patrick Mahomes, who's owning a soccer team while he's playing. You're doing something that divulges you from being an owner, or divulges you from being the role that you're in at the moment. It's silly. It really is. Maybe we have some comment about it. We got 5 of them. Getting lots of comments here. I agree with you, Jess. If I say start today 3 times, I will. Yeah. Start today will become Beetlejuice. Wouldn't that be interesting? Coach Pop Warner? No. No. Let's just say it ain't happening. Okay, dude? I appreciate the confidence. There's other realms and roles for me to do. Coaching a Pop Warner team, not one of them. Just leave it there. All right. Football. Let's see if anybody else has commented. He's talking about Mark Davis. No. Okay. Well, here we go. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Brady's effort to purchase the Raiders was delayed in part by questions surrounding the evaluation of the percentage to be sold to him and Brady's role on Fox as a sports broadcaster. The NFL in August placed restrictions on Brady's broadcasting access due to his potential involvement with the Raiders. Brady is not permitted to attend in-person and online broadcast production meetings that may not have access to team facilities, players, and coaches. Fox staff is not subject to these limitations, so they're not. He also must abide by the league constitution and bylaws that prohibit public criticism of officials and other clubs, but is allowed to broadcast Raider games. Interesting. So he's got to be very careful with how he speaks. Very careful. And Goodell also said, let me just say this on the media side. Tom's been abiding by the issues that we raised through the committee voluntarily since he began his broadcasting. That's all been resolved, has been followed by very clearly, and everyone seems to be satisfied that really wasn't a big issue until probably in the last 6 months. Yeah, because he hasn't been doing it since the last 6 months. There better not be an issue here. He better go by the rules. New England and him have dealt with stuff like that before. 2 more comments. I coached for a bit offensive line, but it was fun. Conflict of interest. Yeah, there's a little conflict of interest, Laura. Yes, I can't. Yeah, I'm not coaching any kids. I'm just not doing it. So, anyway, okay. So that's that for Tom Brady. I do have other ones to talk about. News, latest. Let's see. Here we go. This is the last one that I have, but I found 2 more. Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta host Super Bowl LXII 62. I think that's what that is, 62. So in 2028. So that we're going, let's see, that's 4 years from now. Okay. So the Super Bowl is headed back to Atlanta. Well, maybe Atlanta in 4 years can figure it out, right? Start today. The NFL announced Tuesday during the Fall League meeting that Mercedes-Benz Stadium, home of the Falcons, will host Super Bowl 62 in 2028. Renowned for its hospitality and rich sports, the entertainment culture, Atlanta is a world-class event destination and natural fit for Super Bowl 62. Obviously, since you've been there before. Comment. Chaz is not drinking Coke. No. Drinking C4. I do have soda. Just in case, because I don't want to leave. So, now that you know what I'm drinking. I just said what I'm drinking. So, anyway. Where was I? Here we go. And it's also in a statement, Arthur Blank has been a transformative figure in Atlanta community. Hey, Atlanteans, can you tell me, has he been transformative? They're playing a crucial role in leading in the bid to bring the Super Bowl back to the city. I'd be more worried about getting your team in the Super Bowl than getting the Super Bowl back to your city. But I get the money part of it. I've been fortunate to witness firsthand how Arthur continues to drive community engagement and economic development in Atlanta, in the Atlanta community through his unwavering commitment to sports and philanthropy. We look forward to working with him, the Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Sports Council, and all of our partners on the ground to create an unforgettable experience for fans around the world in 2028. Another comment. C4, yes, C4. Weather bitch out. Weather biatch is out. I'm sorry. Good night, Laura. Anyway, so yeah, so that's happening in your city there. Start today. 2028 game will mark the 4th Super Bowl in Atlanta, the first since 2019. New England beating the Rams 13-3 over the final. They only won 13-3. I don't remember that Super Bowl. 13-3. That can't be right. Two other games also. So that game was also played at Mercedes-Benz, which opened in 2017. The other two Atlanta Super Bowls were played at the Georgia Dome. Interestingly enough, January 1994 for Super Bowl 28 and Super Bowl 34 in January of 2000. Okay, yeah, I'm having to relearn how to do these Roman numerals. Comments? You're saying bye? Start today's going to have a great. I guess everybody's leaving. Okay, I see 4 people though. That's good. Okay, so Georgia is getting another Super Bowl. Yay! So let's go back to the news. There's a couple other things that are very interesting. We got another trade. Texans trading running back Cam Akers back to the Vikings, swapping late round picks. Let's see what this is about before I move on to college. Let's see. Texas trading Cam Akers to Vikings. So they're getting Cam Akers, running back, is headed back to a familiar team, sending Akers and a 2026 conditional 7th round pick. Pause this. To Minnesota in exchange for a conditional 6th round pick. Interesting. So maybe Cam Akers was the odd man out over there in Houston. Go figure. I'm a little surprised at that, honestly. A little surprised that even happened. Okay, we got another one. Last one. Lions defensive tackle Aleem McNeil agrees to terms on a 4-year, $97 million extension. That's interesting news, during the season. The defensive front, they're going to be good. This Detroit defense is going to be good for years to come. Defensive tackle Aleem McNeil and the Lions have agreed to terms for a 4-year contract extension worth $97 million and $55 million guaranteed. I keep wondering why I didn't play football. McNeil's new pact comes on the same day which the Lions officially placed defensive end Aiden Hutchinson and Kyle Pecco on injured reserve. Oh, and Detroit still destroyed Dallas. Wow. sorry, Cowboy fans. But yeah, so I still think they need their defense is good. They're going to need people. Okay, McNeil's 24 and had more pressure to lead the D line, and he's now properly incentivized. Yeah, absolutely. Despite playing in 13 games last year due to a knee injury, McNeil posted a career best 5 sacks to go with 10 quarterback hits, 32 tackles, and a sterling 88.5 PFF overall grade. Ask me what PFF is. I don't know. Okay, so that's all that. Let me go to my college football. All right. So my college picks. First 3 lost. Northwestern beat Maryland. UNLV beat Utah State. Arizona State beat Utah. Go figure. Okay. So those are 3 losses there. We got South Carolina losing to Alabama. No surprise, but that's a close game for Alabama. They got to watch out. Like, Alabama seriously needs to watch out. Wake Forest losing to Clemson pretty handily, like I figured. Missouri beating Massachusetts, destroying Massachusetts. They took Massachusetts off the map like that, 45-3. Good God. Let's see next. Washington at Iowa. Iowa won. That was a pretty easy one. Iowa was pretty good for a non-ranked team. Wisconsin, I thought would just lose to Rutgers. No, they destroyed Rutgers in Rutgers. They did not have a game. And I keep falling. Hold on, guys. There's one person that's watching. My chair keeps going down. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. So Rutgers, I don't know what you guys were doing on Saturday. I really don't. You're supposed to be able to beat these good teams. You just didn't do it. 42-7. That's Rutgers from last year and 2 years ago and beyond. Okay, We got Georgia Tech beating North Carolina only by 7. So I said by 3. So it was a tight game, that game. UAB. I thought it would be a close game. I did not know how good Army is. Get to that in a minute. Army destroyed them 44-10. Number 1 Texas playing 18 Oklahoma. Oh, I got Texas to score right. I didn't get Oklahoma's right. Wow. I don't think Oklahoma's in the top 25 anymore. Yeah, so I got that one. Penn State over USC. Oh my God. I saw that game. Jesus, mother. That was a barn burner. That was a every little thing. And they missed a field goal. How does USC at home miss a field goal in overtime? I should have had that as a loss. Okay. Notre Dame took care of business against Stanford, thank God. I mean, honestly, Stanford is not what the team they used to be, in Notre Dame is trying to be the team that they want to be. California lost to Pittsburgh, but not by much. 17-15. What in the world is going on in college? All right. We got Purdue and Illinois. I didn't see this game. My God, I wish I did. 50-49 in overtime. Illinois won. Barely. What happened to the defense? Seriously. And I wish more people could actually comment. I wish I got a friend who was in my football pool, Rudy, or Robert, whatever he's called. He's in Illinois. He knows a lot of things about Illinois sports. I would have loved to have him comment on this if he was watching. That must have been a crazy game. Louisville at Virginia. I had Louisville winning, and it was a 4-point game. So just a little bit lower than I thought. Memphis at South Florida. Got that one. Memphis took out South Florida. I mean, it's just, these Florida teams aren't good. You got to watch with these Florida teams when you're picking. Except for Miami, of course, and James Laberna will tell you that. Arizona and BYU. BYU, I was pretty close on the score. 42-21, 41-19. Very close. Starting to figure out BYU. Mississippi State at Georgia. Georgia took them out pretty handily. I mean, 10 points, that's a pretty good game. Defense wasn't there as much. Tennessee over Florida, I got, but they had to go to overtime to do it. Go figure. 23-17. So that Florida team, you gotta, like I said, you gotta watch that Florida team. North Texas and FAU. North Texas coming up with the upset. FAU, not a big favorite, but still a favorite. North Texas took them out 41-37. UTSA and Rice, very close game. I said that was a 2-point game. It was a 2-point game. Just Rice got them by 29, 27-7, 19-17. Go figure. Got 3 more. I had a lot of games, 31 games. Ohio State and Oregon, the best game of the week. I paid attention to this. I didn't watch it. My God, I wish I did. Oregon 32-31. Got that by the skin of their teeth. I don't think Ohio State dropped as much. I could be wrong. I got to look. Is this the week I have? Yeah. Where's Ohio State? Sorry, I'm trying not to have dead air here. Maybe Ohio State is off. I don't see Ohio State listed on here as a game that they're playing. All right, so next game I lost. I really thought LSU was going to lose to Ole Miss. I was severely wrong, and they won in overtime, so it was a close game. Lost this one too. I thought Nevada would keep it close with Oregon State, but Oregon State would win. Nevada flipped the script. Their defense just barely won by enough. Appalachian State's really trying. I got this right, yeah, but I know I keep putting Appalachian State in because I think they're going to get a win at some point. Louisiana beat them 34-24. Vanderbilt coming off some of the biggest wins they've had. They beat Kentucky, and I got that right. Number 11 Iowa State. These Iowa teams they got beefy guys over there. They're eating a lot of that corn that they're making. Iowa won 28-16. Syracuse over NC State. 24-17. Got that right. Kansas State over Colorado. Barely, 31-28. Coach Prime's really trying to keep these games, get hit some of these wins. And lastly, last game, Boise State at Hawaii. Boise State barely, almost had a shutout, 28-7. With 31 games, I actually went 24-7 for the week, so I'm 106-40. What's 106-40? I didn't do the percentage. I'm sorry, guys. Let me do the math. 106 divided by 146. 726 winning percentage. Not too bad. 726 winning percentage. Real quickly, 24 games I'm going to list for week 8. I'm not even going to do scores. I'm just saying who I'm going to pick. Oh, I didn't even write. See, this is what I forgot. Oregon, I'll have to go back and watch this next week. Oregon, I got winning over Purdue. BYU, I got winning over Oklahoma State. Miami easily over Louisville. Clemson over Virginia. Nebraska over Indiana. Okay, that's what I'm saying there. Next. Missouri over Auburn. Army, they're shocking people with that. But I think so. They're going to easily beat East Carolina. I think Rutgers is going to stay home and beat UCLA. UCLA having to cross the country is going to hurt them a little bit. Alabama at Tennessee. There's the upset. Tennessee beats Alabama. Notre Dame at Georgia Tech. Notre Dame should win probably by 3 or 6. Michigan at Illinois. Expect Michigan to win that by 3. Charlotte at Navy. Navy's actually ranked now, 25th ranked. Navy should win that game probably by 3 or 6. Bryant at Monmouth. Monmouth, I went on their website and looked at their schedule. I printed their schedule out, so they're at Monmouth. They should win this game. We'll see. Their defense hasn't been great. They got more losses than wins, but they're one of those FCS teams that are trying. And they're local. That's why I keep putting them in. Texas at Mississippi. I got Texas A&M. LSU at Arkansas. LSU will win that handily. Georgia at Texas. Game of the week. Here we go. I hate to go against Georgia, but I think Texas wins this game. Texas is strong. Texas, they want that number 1 seed probably even worse than Georgia. UFC Iowa State. Iowa State will win that game probably handily. Kansas State at West Virginia. Kansas State wins. Lastly, Iowa at Michigan State. Iowa wins. Kentucky at Florida. Kentucky wins. SMU 21 ranked at Stanford. SMU wins. Colorado State at Air Force. Let's go Air Force. So all 3 major military go win a game on the same weekend. UNLV at Oregon State. I got Oregon State. TCU at Utah. I got Utah. So I'll go back during the week and I'll listen to what I said. I'll put the names and numbers into it before Saturday, and so I have at least a little bit of idea what I'm doing for record-wise. Okay, next, MLB playoffs. Not too much to talk about. The Mets tied up yesterday with a great game in LA. Yankees are on as we speak. I hope they're winning. I don't know. I'm not seeing any updates. Who knows? They were doing something in the first inning. You know, this is where I wish I had Laura or Start today who were watching. You know, they could have given me an update. We were talking baseball. Anyway, so I'll say this by next week. We should know who's in, who's out for the World Series. I'm crossing my fingers for Yankees Mets. I'm crossing my fingers. But in reality, I'm saying Dodgers Yankees. That's what I'm saying. I don't think the Guardians have a shot. I think the Guardians may win 1 game in Cleveland. I think the Yankees will win it out, period. Cole on the mound tonight. I'm hoping for a strong 7, so we'll see. Okay. I'll do this real quick because I will talk about this more next week. NBA starts next week. Next Tuesday or Wednesday. And on a side note, I am doing a fantasy basketball pool. It's free if you want it. I just email me at chazroyalty@gmail.com or message me here. I'll see it if you message me in a message later in the week, like some other people have messaged me from Bangladesh, uh, you can get in the pool. I need to know by the 20th. I have 5 people already in. I want to do a draft before the 20th because they start on the 22nd, which will be the day, if I'm correct, that I do this podcast. So I'm crossing my fingers that the Knicks figure it out this year. I'm hoping for the best, and I will go over all that next week. So it's a whole. I gotta have to. That's why I did less games for college. I want to be able to break basketball down a little bit. No WWE tonight. I'm not doing it for this week. Going straight to the birthdays. I got an hour right there. Look at that. Let's see if I can get it under an hour 10. Birthdays of the week. That goes bye-bye. Okay. Yesterday, 2 of my Acme peeps. Lamont Page, Susie Sanford. Happy birthday. Both in your 50s now. Okay, I'm catching up. I'll be there in a couple years. Okay. Next, today, who every single one I put on Facebook, told them this is what I'm doing it. Crystal Kerwin, happy birthday, 42. Wendy Strump and Christy Kerwin, I bowl with her on Wednesday nights. I've known her for a few years. One of the better women bowlers we have in Monmouth County. Wendy Strumpf, work with her at Kerry, happy birthday. Carl Neat, I can't get the T out, sorry. And I'm not saying this because he might watch this. Honestly, truly, one of my best bosses I've ever had. Like, when he was at Acme, it was a short time. It wasn't even a long time I had Carl as my boss. But he was one of those bosses that you could go to, you could talk to. He would say hi to you. He'd be pleasant, not one of those grumpy guys or one of those guys who just yelled all the time. Carl was different, and he retired early, and I think he's farming now. He's got his own place out in some East Bumble, New Jersey home. But he's, Carl, from what I could see on Facebook, he's doing very good. And lastly, also today's birthday is Nancy Stramian, bowler from a long time ago. Not a long time ago, 10 years ago. She was also on the board of with me on the Monmouth County Board of Directors when I was there. So happy birthday to Nancy. Wednesday, Anthony Hershwick, and I know I screwed that name up. Happy birthday. I worked with him at the Edison UPS for a few years, the few years I was there. And also Janice Neary. She's now Janice Miller. Janice was one of the many girlfriends that my late friend Ian Long had. Janice actually went with him to our, I can't remember if it was junior or senior prom at CBA. But that was Janice. His birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Janice. My ex-sister-in-law, Janine Morosco, turns 51 on Thursday. Happy birthday, Janine. Kim Mayadanza, who I know met for many years. Her dad is also a judge in Monmouth County, in the Freehold Monmouth County courts. Kim's birthday is also Thursday. Happy birthday. On Friday, my buddy from down in Neptune, or at least he bowled in Shore Lanes, Stuart Henry. Still want to bowl with that guy on a team. He's a damn good bowler. He's 45 years old, too. So I can't bowl with you now in the over-under tournament, Stuart. But, Monmouth County, open, maybe. We'll see. So happy birthday, Stuart, on Friday. Andrew Anastasio. Andrew, you see how young he is, 33. He was really young, like 8 years ago when he was starting at Amazon. So happy birthday, Andrew. Tony Randazzo, I worked with her when I was at Ingredient, or actually was National Starch before that. So happy birthday to Tony. She was in another building in another company, but we were on the same site. And Greg Cruz, one of my UPS guys from Tinton Falls. My 8 years there. Greg Cruz, 59 years old. Happy birthday, man. Last birthdays coming up Saturday. You just missed her, unless she's on now. Miss Laura Stepnowski Gannon, also known as Weatherbiatch. She'll be 48. How do I know? She's, 10 or 12 days younger than me. That's how I know. So happy birthday, Laura. I'm sure Mike will do something very special for you on Saturday. Paul Van Dusen. If you don't know Paul, and that means you're not listening to 107.1 The Boss. He's a DJ on there. I friended him years ago. He's a good guy that I've talked to from time to time on Facebook. So happy birthday, Paul. Megan McGinley, one of the better bowlers Monmouth County ever had. She's not in Monmouth County anymore. I believe she lives in Cinnaminson now. So she's out west, New Jersey. She does a lot of Pennsylvania stuff. I think I bowled in the same league or tournament with her like 5-6 years ago. That's how long it's been. So, but Megan, happy birthday. She's 47, so she's a year younger than me. On Sunday, we got more than a few. So then on here, there's a couple behind these guys. Greg Weber. I think you need to retire from Amazon if you haven't done it already. 65 years old. Happy birthday, man. Any pictures I see of him, he's on a golf course. So hopefully maybe he is retired. I'm hoping, God willing, because Amazon, that will kill you. Nancy Pizzucillo, 55. Happy birthday. I bowled in a league with Nancy in the early 2000s at Bradley Beach. That's how long ago that is. NFL. There's no NFL game on tonight. Anyway. Diane Brandt, bowled with her and more than a few years ago back in Strathmore. She's married or engaged to Eugene Olson, who's a very good bowler in Monmouth County. She's 38 today. Happy birthday, or Sunday. She's happy. Her birthday is on Sunday. 2 more on Sunday. I don't know their ages. I apologize, but Joe Bonello and Casey Bartholomew. Joe, many of my confidence pool people know as Joey B. It's his birthday on Sunday. And Casey Bartholomew, if you know 101.1 back in the early 2010s, Casey was on the drive time 4 to 7, if I remember correctly. I've been following him ever since. Like he's a funny dude. He really is, and he's a good radio guy. So happy birthday both to Joe and to Casey on Sunday. So again, as I've said every time on my 58 episodes, sorry. If anyone wants to join on the conversation, contact me, chazrot@gmail.com. That's also where you can contact me for the basketball pool. And that's really all the pools I'm doing right now. Once we get to the playoffs, I'll sprinkle something on that and talk about that in a little while. Okay, so that was a lot in an hour and 7 minutes. I'm spent. So like episode 59, next week we will talk about World Series. We should know by then who's in the World Series. We'll talk about the start of the... wait, did I say 23rd? Hold on a second, guys. It's 22nd. There we go. Yeah, today's the 15th, so next week will be the 22nd. Oh, Jesus, I can spell today. And there we go. All right. So next week, we got MLB World Series starting up. NBA League starting. If people want to talk about NHL, let me know. I'm curious about, I'll bring someone on who knows hockey. I don't know it as much. I'd love to hear their take on the beginning of the hockey season. There might be some wrestling we talk about. Football, obviously. Football will be on the table. That's a given. We'll just see what happens this week, with college and with the pros. So I hope everybody has a good week. I will see you all on October 22nd. An hour. I think I might have broken a record here. Peace out. Have a good night. I didn't even finish the C4 yet, so have a good night, everyone. See you all on the 22nd.